New York is moving towards getting back to normal. This Friday, indoor dining at New York City restaurants will expand to 75% capacity. And on May 19th, Governor Andrew Cuomo says New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut plan to lift capacity restrictions on businesses. Joining us right now to talk about the reopening of the economy and his new role as chairman of New York City's Economic Development Corporation is Danny Meyer. Of course, he's the founder of Union Square Hospitality Group and Shake Shack. And Danny, it is great to see you this morning, and it's great to see New York City back, hopefully on its feet and getting ready to restart. I'm curious if you could sort of walk through what you're doing, both in your capacity as a restaurateur, but also in this new role, in terms of how you think businesses should get back to doing what they do. And is it really just the rules are off and everybody just go back to what the world looked like a year and a half ago? Or is there going to be a distinction?
Thank you, Andrew, and great to see you. Thanks for having me. It's going to be an amazing comeback for New York City. There's no question about that, but it's also going to take a little bit of time. And I think that there's a lot we can do to accelerate the time, but there's also some things that I think are really important in terms of people being realistic. This is not like calling back your favorite baseball team to spring training where everybody was on contract just waiting to get the call. There was a big diaspora from New York City over the past year. A lot of talent left the city. A lot of residents left the city. And what we need more than anything right now is an incredible homecoming. I love what you just reported about Goldman Sachs asking its team to come back to work. I think when offices fill up, I think when residents move back to their apartments, when hotels reopen, when Broadway lights come back on, the museums are open, New York is going to be stronger than ever.
Danny, are you going to be asking your employees, or not just asking them, but requiring your employees and perhaps patrons to be vaccinated?
We have done everything we can, Andrew, to encourage it. We've offered 8 hours of paid time for our employees per shot. So we've really tried to lead with a carrot. We're also going to be distributing pins for our employees that let people know that they've been vaccinated. And for the last 8 months or so, we've been piloting a program along with Clear called Health Pass, where in order to come to work, each of our employees has got to get a green light from Health Pass, which means that at a minimum, they've had their temperature taken and they've affirmed that they've had no symptoms. If they choose to upload negative test results and or vaccinations, that makes the green light come on even more quickly.
So Danny, though, do you know what percentage of your employees have been vaccinated, and more importantly, what percentage haven't? And what are you going to do about that, the percentage that hasn't?
Just to continuously encourage them. You know, in the restaurant business, every single day before lunch and or dinner, we have a staff meeting. And we talk about how powerfully you can help the rest of your team by being vaccinated. We're also working this very, very minute to make sure that when New York City provides mobile vaccinations, that our restaurants are right on their stop. And we will make every single effort to get every single one of our employees vaccinated. Look, you've read the news, you've reported the news. There are parts of the population that have resisted the vaccination. There's also incredible evidence that if you take a look at the cases of positive COVID out there, a tiny, tiny percentage of them can be correlated with those who have been vaccinated. So we're doing everything we can, again, to lead with a carrot and to educate our staff. And as far as your earlier question, I don't know exactly what percentage have been vaccinated, but we're working to get as close to 100 as we possibly can.
But to the extent, do you imagine a moment where you might say to some people, look, you can't come back to work unless you're vaccinated? We're not going to do it. And I wonder if that's a real question mark.
In our office, our home office for Union Square Hospitality Group, we've made it very, very clear for the last 3 months that you are welcome to come to work if you have been vaccinated. We will mandate coming back to work beginning sometime later in the summer for all of our employees. And I'm pretty certain that vaccinations will be a big part of that.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.